You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. August 10th, 2023. We have a very exciting weather discussion for today, especially people living in Israel and Eretz Yisrael. We have a powerhouse heat wave headed for Jerusalem, for Yerushalayim. The European computer model is showing temperatures that are just unbelievable. Temperatures going into the mid-hundreds over the weekend for Shabbos and Sunday. This is for Saturday and Sunday. AccuWeather is forecasting an official high of 99 in Jerusalem for this upcoming weekend. Tel Aviv has highs in the low 90s with sauna-like dew points. Heat indices probably reaching very close to 110 degrees, which would be, here in the U.S., would be heat advisory criteria, not necessarily excessive heat warning criteria. It's going to be a completely different type of heat in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. Basically, what we have is the desert is coming to the city on east winds. We'll have more information, I hope. One of the tremendous advantages of having a heat wave set up in Israel is the fact that they do have a national weather service there, at least the equivalent of an Israeli meteorological society, which offers an enormous amount of weather information similar to what we have here in the United States. So when there is more time, that hopefully will be put on to either this episode or another episode. But for right now, it's just sizzling heat. That's what's expected in Jerusalem despite the higher elevation. And when you head even just a little bit to the east, northeast over the weekend, temperatures going into the low 100 teens, says the European computer model. Generally, this is a dry heat. When you head over to the En Gedi area, we're talking about dew points going into the upper 60s and low 70s, which could make temperatures feel significantly hotter than what they actually are. That's most likely due to the Dead Sea, due to water evaporation taking place from the Dead Sea that's bringing an increase in dew points. And the high humidity in Tel Aviv, as usual, is coming from the Mediterranean. So actually, the country Israel is going to be split into two in regards to the air mass. You're going to have the western parts of the country. You can see right on the European computer model, we'll be getting a wind right off the Mediterranean Sea. That's where the flow is coming, a hot, humid flow off the Mediterranean. And then the eastern parts of the country will be getting a flow from the desert, incredibly hot temperatures. What makes this unique? On Sunday, it seems like Sunday is peak heating for many cities out there in the Middle East, including Iran. The only thing is so Iran has two deserts. There's the eastern desert, and then there's the western desert. So there's a city called Shustar, Iran, that's located in the western desert. It's a completely separate desert. It's not part of the Lut desert. From what I know, it's part of a different desert. So Shustar, Iran's going to be boiling hot as usual, although I'm not aware of temperatures going into the 130s. On the other hand, I haven't looked that up yet. We've seen temperatures going into the low 130s, even higher than that this past summer in Shustar, Iran. You know, that's something that these models don't pick up on. That's something very, very local. So we would have to really take a look. AccuWeather tends to have information in regards to that. But the Lut Desert, which many say might be the hottest in the world, that desert has temperatures going down. By Sunday, highs only in the low 100 teens, maybe even upper hundreds, mid to upper hundreds. And in the temperatures, which should be in the 120s, when we're talking about heat in the Middle East like this, temperatures would be in the 120s, but that mid-120 degree heat is headed to Baghdad, Iraq. Just unbelievable stuff. Temperatures 124, some areas 125. I even saw a reading of 126 degrees, what looks like to be part of the metropolitan area of Baghdad, where Baghdad itself is 124. This is all according to the European computer model. So if you want to see imagery of that, I do have one up on YouTube, but you'll have to find it because it's... if you find it good, if not. But so that's the European computer model. I didn't get a chance to look at the other models or to even see what forecasters who are, the professional forecasters for Iraq, what they are forecasting in that area. So one of the most phenomenal things that's happening in the world today, right now, is Astrakhan, Russia. People think people still think, you think Russia, I thought Russia all my life. I think of cold, winter cold. The whole country is so far north. It just really is. Even the most southern portions, it's still far north. It's still difficult to, I guess, to believe fully that temperatures really are in the hundreds there, and they will continue to be in the hundreds. Not only that, listen to this. The sea of the Caspian Sea has water temperatures of 89 degrees. This is unbelievable stuff. 89 degrees, this sea in Russia, it's just unbelievable. That thing is all the way up north. The ocean water temperatures up there are just hot. And again, we have the widespread water temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico by Florida are about 90 degrees when looking at the windy.com app, but we have those isolated spots of like little shallow waters here and there, which you can get water temperatures up to 5, even 10 degrees hotter than what they are widespread. In fact, I think the water is just shallow, and that's why we're seeing several degree differences between night and day in the water. Because when you get out into the ocean, we don't tend to see those types of differences. Now, we're going to deal now with some weather headlines. This comes from Fox Weather. 80 million Americans brace for 110-degree feel for today. The heat wave baking the southern U.S. intensifies, affecting millions of Americans. Sweeping heat alerts are in place for over 80 million people in Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Florida. The heat indices could potentially reach 110 degrees. Southwest wildlife and historic records feel the impact as temperatures soar above 100 degrees. Fox Weather tells us that the central U.S. is on edge. Severe weather looms for Thursday. That's today. A significant severe weather risk is unfolding in the central U.S. This is going to have people on alert, and they should be on alert for Thursday. Anticipate severe thunderstorms spanning from the Central Plains to the mid-Mississippi Valley. The potential for tornadoes on Thursday morning extends from eastern Oklahoma to the Tennessee Valley. Fox Weather tells us extreme weather alert again for severe storms, which will be targeting the Northeast. Thursday will bring storms to the Northeast along with a potent low-pressure system. Severe thunderstorm risks, including strong winds, hail, heavy rain, and even a possible tornado loom over Long Island, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Cape Cod, and Boston. The storm's intensity escalates along the I-95 corridor and coastal areas by Thursday evening. Now, The Guardian tells us that the La Nina fire toll in Hawaii climbs to 36. Hawaii authorities reported at least 36 fatalities from fires that have engulfed the historic town of Lahaina. Dozens more people have sustained injuries. Homes and businesses in Lahaina, a beachside community, have been devastated by wildfires sparked by Hurricane Dora's high winds. There have been 13 evacuations due to 3 fires in the vicinity. Former cyclone will be bringing rain to California, tells us Yahoo, in the southwest. Former tropical cyclone Eugene is set to bring essential moisture to California and the southwest this week, reinvigorating a lackluster monsoon season with scattered rain and possible thunderstorms until Thursday. The remnants of Eugene now move into southern California and Arizona, prompting a 10 to 20% likelihood of thunderstorms on Thursday. The deep south heat wave breaks records, says MSN. Relentless heat scorches the deep south, and there's no relief ahead. In Austin, Texas, the record streak of 27 consecutive days, with highs exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit from July and August 2011, was shattered. Baton Rouge experienced 10 consecutive days with at least 100-degree Fahrenheit highs through August 7th. This surpasses the previous record of 8 days set in August 1921. That's something remarkable for the south central states, especially Louisiana. They've been seeing a lot of 100-degree heat that is not common over there. AZ Animals tells us that As August is a summer month in the U.S., many states experience very high temperatures during this period. According to NOAA data for August from 1991 to 2020, Texas is the warmest state in the U.S. during this month with an average temperature of 94.6 degrees. Arizona grabs the second spot with an average temperature of 93.2, and Oklahoma comes in third. Medical Express tells us that we can handle 87.08 degrees Fahrenheit, but no more. Scientists have identified the highest temperature that a human body can withstand. For the study, Pennsylvania State University researchers used a heat chamber to monitor the core temperatures of healthy participants. The point at which their bodies can no longer prevent their core temperatures from rising was discovered to occur at 87.08 degrees Fahrenheit. I want to just add to that I believe it's referring to wet global temperatures. The wet bulb temperature, that's how we refer to it as, that which means that after evaporative cooling takes effect, if after the evaporative cooling, the temperature is above 87 degrees, if it's 88 or higher, it's telling us that the human body is not able to withstand this. What's also important to point out is that I remember back in June, I was looking at the wet global temperature, the wet bulb temperatures, and the word global is sometimes added on over there, but I was looking at those temperatures for southern Texas around Corpus Christi in June, and we actually, the particular day I was looking at, Dallas had it at 84 degrees. Temperature was probably about 100 degrees, but the wet bulb temperature was about 84, so that would be bearable. But in Corpus Christi, the wet bulb temperature was in the 90s. So according to this, it would be unbearable. According to Bloomberg, Virgin Galactic Holdings Incorporated is all set to launch its first private space tours Thursday morning. This will be the company's second commercial space flight and a long-awaited turning point in founder Richard Branson's aim to create a space line for Earth. That's actually beyond the scope of this podcast, so we're going to go into the next one. Also is Death Valley records the third longest 17-day heat wave stretch. In Death Valley's Furnace Creek, a relentless 17-day heat wave reached scorching temperatures of 120 to 128 degrees, ranking as the park's third longest streak. July 2023 stands as the second hottest on record at an average of 107.6 degrees. Despite the excessive heat warnings due to the extreme heat, tourists continue to visit the park in great numbers. 70-mile-per-hour winds, hail threaten Alabama and Tennessee, says Newsbreak. North Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee brace for severe weather on Thursday. Expect a hurdle in the morning commute, preceded by afternoon severe thunderstorm warnings. The forecast includes heavy rain, potential hail, and strong winds of up to 70 miles an hour. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will have minimal disruption to daily activities. Based on the FEMA, the National Center for Disaster Preparedness and NOAA data, a list has been prepared determining the most accurate prone U.S. counties. The list is topped by Broward County with an overall hurricane vulnerability score of 72.7 out of 100. This is followed by Palm Beach County, Charleston County, and Horry County. A monster hail hits Colorado, new state record looms. A 5-inch hailstone fell in rural Yuma County on Tuesday night. If the hailstone is confirmed, which is likely, given a comprehensive measurement and photo that was obtained, it will set the state record for the largest hailstone ever recorded. The massive hail came from the same storm that created a powerful tornado that destroyed a home near Yuma. New York City will be rainy on Thursday with a low flash flood risk. Thursday evening in New York City will see hours of rain with potential for up to 3 inches in isolated areas. Although prolonged rain reduces flash flood risk, be prepared with an umbrella. Severe storms are not expected, and a pleasant Friday awaits, followed by a mostly dry weekend despite possible Saturday showers. That comes from NBC New York. We have the Kahanon brings strong winds, heavy rains to South Korea from AP News. A strong tropical storm, Kahanon, blew ashore in South Korea on Thursday morning. This was dumping heavy rain. Over a foot of rain has fallen already in parts of the mainland, and some streets were flooded. The storm will weaken as it moves into North Korea early Friday, but Seoul would still feel its force until Friday afternoon. I think that's pretty much... Well, it's not pretty much what we have, because WXII WXII 12 tells us severe storms loom in North Carolina on Thursday with potential for isolated tornadoes. Morning commute could be affected by strong storms moving east. A band of severe storms predicted to cross the Blue Ridge Parkway in Piedmont Triad during the commute. Strong storms could bring damaging winds, isolated tornadoes, lightning, and heavy rain. I also noticed on the Storm Shield app that Charleston is under a heat advisory for today. The remnants of a storm brings unusual summer weather to San Diego. The source for this is AXIOS. On Thursday, the coastlines and mountains in San Diego are likely to see a few scattered thunderstorms due to Tropical Storm Eugene that is waning. The storm lost its gusto while moving north from Baja California, but its moisture will persist. Expect high humidity, heavy clouds, and light rain today. Unusual weather conditions for the region now. Says WTAJ on Thursday, central Pennsylvania expects unsettled weather due to a low pressure system, resulting in morning rain, heavy at times till early afternoon. The second half will have clouds and scattered showers with cooler than average highs around 70s. Expect rainfall totals of a half to 1 inch. Some clearing is expected by evening. That brings our headlines to an end. We hope to offer an update later on in regards to the heat wave hitting not just Israel, but this time actually Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh, Jerusalem, and also Baghdad, Iraq. I know it's the average temperatures are in the mid-100 teens, but this is even hotter than that, according to the European model, as temperatures sizzle into the mid-120s. We have just one more segment here. I almost forgot about this, but the European computer model is showing something that is just, I don't even know what to make of it, but it's not this week. I believe it's the very end of next week, possibly even the beginning of the following week, part of the 10-day forecast cycle, maybe even a little bit beyond. It's somewhere within the next 2 weeks. No, it is part of the 10-day cycle. Temperatures in Washington State, the Northwest Pacific, over there by the Cascades, 110 degrees or higher. So people who think that the summer's coming to an end because it's August, for actually up there the summer is just beginning. We have not seen temperatures in the low 100 teens. As far as I know, it might have even been a couple years since we've seen that. We'll have to wait and see what exactly happens over there to see what type of accuracy this European computer model has, but it's something that's totally unbelievable. And the heat in the Arctic has ended. At least the heat on the Arctic coast is over with, as high temperatures drop into the 40s by the weekend. Have a wonderful day and wonderful weekend. You've been listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. Special guest on our show. What is your name? Temperatures going into the low hundreds for the next 3 days. Holy cow! The blackberry winter, that comes up every year here in the Midwest on May 11th. Several additional feet of snow is expected by Monday morning. This was in the forecast from a week ago, and the National Weather Service is finally acknowledging it today. Conditions are favorable for the development of an El Niño. We're going from one extreme to the next extreme. Despite the fact that it's 113 during the day and 46 at night, you could still do a little dance. Recorded temperatures during heat bursts have reached well above 104 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
Google Weather with Enthusiasm, and they're all going to come up.
Meteorologist Simcha left. Weather with Enthusiasm is his podcast.